The remainder of our stroll through town was done in silence. I wasn't sure how or if I could raise my companion's spirits, but it turned out I needn't try. Dancers flinging torches, monks chanting Shinto hymns, bakers hawking dumplings. The sights and sounds and smells of Tonogasha were infectious. It was one sound in particular that drew my attention, the dejected voice of an unemployed street fighter I knew.
What am I gonna do? Akane will Jagoku Edo-ryo me to death when she finds out!
Hatch cried, fist shaking in air. Toshio and Momoko nodded in gloom. The trio were sitting at a food stall, though none of them had ordered anything. She very well might with a mispronunciation like that. I spoke as I took a seat. A shriek erupted from out of my drinking companion, who, if I had to guess, didn't have money for tonight's sake.
I can explain! I was had, taken advantage of, and swindled!
Hatch pleaded as if his life depended on it. While I didn't doubt he was telling the truth about getting outsmarted, I needed more of the story than that. Toshio obliged.
Hachirobe-san has fallen victim to a forgery. In exchange for Kiso-chan, our horse, he was offered a black suit of obsidian armor said to have been used by the emperor himself. Satsuma-sama has never adorned armor, especially not a suit covered in soy sauce.
I took a deep breath to calm my nerves. After taking in a noxious whiff of the sour smell coming from Hatch's rucksack, I spoke. I'm just surprised how someone born in Jijinto can be so trusting. People are the product of their environment. Know where a man's from and you can guess where he's going. I was an orphan from Genfu who no one cared for, and so I lived with an eternal chip on my shoulder. I was going to an early grave, obviously enough. But Hatch had the hardened body of a street tough, while somehow maintaining the soft and gentle touch of a boy. Hatch's shoulders slumped.
I know I'm an idiot. I really messed this one up, Akane. I just thought it'd help.
Contrary to his own words, I knew he wasn't stupid. I often gave him a tough time, but that was just because I knew he could take it. No, he only acted foolish when others were in danger. Like when he took that poison dart for Momoko back then. So, I had to ask, how would it help? What did a man who fought with his fists and wore only a karate uniform to battle want with samurai gear? After a long pause of reluctance, Hatch yielded a reply.
Well, you know.
He tilted his head towards the bloody wrappings across my stomach.
Just didn't want you getting hurt again.
I cursed at Hatch. I felt a fuzziness unlike alcohol come out from above my navel. My heart's pace quickened, at least for the moment. He was worrying about me. No one had ever done that. No one was allowed to do that. What a stupid man, to make me feel like this. It was the good doctor who interrupted my inner turmoil. But Momoko's words only threw my life into greater chaos.
Akane-san, where did Masashi-kun go?
He wasn't getting kidnapped or being tortured, though my mind certainly imagined it so. Toshio found him arguing with a tournament organizer. It was for that shogi game everyone in town seemed obsessed about.
Need I remind you of all the shogi prodigies at my age? That this establishment would dare prohibit a competitor based on number of years lived it's despicable!
While I was biased towards my tiny shugenja, I was sympathetic for the man just doing his job.
Look here, I don't make the rules, boy. You're too young to play.
I strutted in and pretended to be a responsible adult, failed miserably. Hey, the hell is your problem, old man? Afraid to lose to a kid? The organizer sputtered his response behind an oversized mustache.
Why, as I've said twice before, while the tournament host is a private party, one of our sponsors is the Kisaru Corporation. As the premier retailer for tobacco pipes, having an underaged youngster involved would be poor for their image.
This was ridiculous. The horrors of Hyuga included extreme poverty, Rampant disease and banditry, slave trafficking, and perversions of every kind. Yet this guy was trying to tell me that there was an age restriction for smoking?
Very well. Akane will play in my place.
Can't say that I'm the shogi playing type. Didn't take more than a glance around this game hall to know I didn't belong here. Instead of sweaty gambling dens, where men went shirtless, men here rolled up in silk. I'd much rather take my chances with a dice roll than play their game by their rules. Masashi piped up in a cheerful tone.
You needn't be. Have some confidence. I have a plan that pairs my intellect with your,
Beauty, I chuckled after finding the word the kid was looking for. The last thing I intended to do was take this silly game seriously. You've convinced me. Though, remind me why you want to do this, again? Masashi answered my question as he filled out the registration form.
Aside from the monetary incentive, we've, wait, sign here.
Yeah, he grabbed my hand and practically wrote my name down for me. I sneered at the sight of the characters on paper. It just didn't feel right. Stupid as it sounded, it felt as if a piece of myself had just left my body. The anxious Shugenja continued where he'd left off.
We've a demon to defeat, if you recall. I believe you've seen it already.
He was talking about that poet's painting. The horns, the teeth, the red fires behind its eyes. I was hardly an art critic, but I knew what I didn't like.
Ah, the demon of shogi, our reclusive founder. He invites only the winners to visit him on his paradise island. Rumor has it that he has the ability to erase all memories of you from others, if you wish.
The man ruffled his mustache and gave my chest wound a lingering look.
There are some competitors who would give anything for a new beginning.
Our conversation ended on that ominous note. I wasn't sure what to think about sudden onset amnesia, nor did I have any clues about an Oni who lived inside board games. I didn't have any idea on the rules or conditions in order to win. I didn't know a whole lot of things. But I did know that it had been a long time since I'd seen the kid in such a good mood.